I told her she had to come and see me at least 3 times during the summer, and perhaps even 4 if she felt like she needed more. The first time was for the building and the location, just a really quick, maybe hour, 2 hours, just finding out where everything is, the supplies, extra desks, extra tables, chairs, who the custodians are, our most important friends, all of the building layout, so she feels every time she comes into the building extremely comfortable knowing where everything is, who to talk to, where everybody's office is. The second meeting was for department requirements for English, because we do English as well as world language. This is what English department requires, this is how you go about doing this is what world language department requires, this is how you go and doing that. So the very large picture of department requirements, where you find all the department information, who the department chairperson is, all the requirements of the standards in those 2 different departments. So the third meeting, which we did, was a very specific sit down and plan the exact specific details of a specific course. So for example, in English, Alex and I went to the book room where we signed up for all the books. She knew specifically she would take this, and this book home, read it, look at the study guides, look at what kind of information had to be talked about, the specific vocabulary that had to be taught with that unit, etc. So she was extremely well prepared in that respect, and I showed her how to write out an entire semester plan at one shot, how you go about doing that. And it's very quick, it's very easy, and she could see the big picture for that specific subject that fast.
I did make sure to set up a desk for my intern so that her space was her own and that she wouldn't be in my space, because I'm a control freak and I like to have my area. And I went into the office and just gathered everything up that they would give me to make her desk welcoming. Even at garage sales, I would look for things for her desk to make her feel like it was her space. I did empty out a file cabinet for her too, so she could get organized, encourage her to be organized. Also, one thing I did wrong is I didn't set up the dress code day 1. And I've noticed my intern, she dresses too casually, and now I'm regretting. Why did I not say, day 1, no gym shoes every day? You know, only on Friday can you wear jeans. And so I'm kicking myself a little bit. So my suggestion is, right at the beginning, if you see something, nip it.
When they do their guided lead teaching, many times they say, well, she's not the mom, I don't have to pay attention to her as much. Okay? The students, right? And it's so true. I mean, the students have to buy into the leader. From the beginning, yes, they know that you're an established teacher, you've been there 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years, so they already know that you're an established leader of the classroom, leader of the school. So when someone new comes in, there are things that it's expected of them to do for their followers so that they can buy into the leader, or the not the mom syndrome. And we talked about many different things that needs to happen. Procedures, following through with discipline, or it could be following through with the reward. You know, this is what happened. You know, Tracy, we're going to call your mom and say, you know, we really appreciate what you did today. Well, Tracy's going to expect a phone call and say, Mom, did Mr. Salice call you? And you know, this and that. So you have to make sure that you follow through. Follow through is important.
Bottom line, they're getting them to develop relationships with their students, and you know, teaching the interns how to do that, I think, is part of our job.
As a mentor, the type of character or traits that our MSU student is acquiring and showing. It's important to understand that, to see if there's something that they're weak on, to talk about it. Like you mentioned right away from the beginning. If there's something you notice that's falling behind, it's to talk about it right away instead of just blow it off.
My intern struggled a little bit with that first guided lead teach and taking on the second class, and like I said, it was the not the mom thing where they didn't see her as the leader. So I had her do the lead teach. And then when it came time for her to stop that, I said, well, I think the best thing is for you to continue to have an active role in that class. That way they never see you as not the leader.
sit down with our interns definitely right before second semester begins and say, this is what the exact expectations will be. And we've already been dealing with expectations, but just to let them know this is going to be really, really difficult because now you got it all at the same time. You have to be unbelievably more prepared than you've ever been. At this point, different changes happen with them. Like we talked about the struggles that we had up to this point, and that is being ahead of the game. All of our interns seem to be, they have the work in front of them. They're about ready to present, but they haven't really reviewed what they've done. Okay, like they're going to show a video clip, and they didn't watch the video clip ahead of time. And they're like, well, I didn't know that was in there, or there was a mistake on one of the textbook handouts. Did you go through it? No. Well, and so this stuff has to be all ironed out. This is where their kinks are going to be ironed out. Timing was also really important. I think, I don't know about you guys, but throughout this whole thing, I really struggled with her looking at the clock and getting the timing down. And having all the kinks worked out, and I keep saying kinks, where you do have everything laid out. You're going to go from this to this to this. Oh, I didn't get to this. That's okay, I'll do it. And making those decisions. We expect that to be happening more the third. Some interns want to be sitting behind their desk and trying to get other stuff done when the kids are basically on their own doing their tests, and they can't do that. And I had to express to mine at this time, you're not me. I maybe can do this, you can't. You have to constantly establish yourself every single day. And I think now our interns definitely see it during this extended lead teaching. She's never behind her desk. She's up, and she realizes by being up and being, even when she's the passive person and everyone else is doing the work, she realizes things go so much smoother if she's up just going around and checking on students. So also too, at this point, their multitasking has definitely gotten better. And it gives them a chance too at this time to start taking more risk with their teaching and with their lesson plans, because everything else is coming together.
Oh, the only thing I would like to add is that what I find is a willingness to listen has come more with their understanding that maybe the mentor teacher, from the wealth of experience they've had, that, you know, maybe this would be a good time to listen and to take care of some of the things. But what I like is my intern has 2 of the same classes, Spanish 2, and if something didn't go well during the first time, she's willing to spend the planning period in discussion with me and reworking it so that she does have a positive experience with it. And we've talked about how that's really a valuable asset, that you don't just say, well, you know, this is the way I've done it, it's carved in stone, that I'll go back and relook at it and make it better. And I really
But the EPD, maybe since the employer does not see it, to use it as a learning tool, you know, not to slam them by any means, but to suggestions, and you may not have to be so careful on some of the things that you say where their weaknesses are.
Oh, and one of the things too, we spend a lot of time talking about the language proficiency part, and if they have language proficiency issues, they need to know before they go in. I mean, we need to find a way to gently tell them or strongly tell them, so that you know, they feel confident or they realize the work that they need to do. You know, but I think the best thing that we can do for an intern is let them know what they need to do, what they can do, and how to get to where they meet up together.